You can also listen to us on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/theclockcleaners.
Hello and welcome to the Clock Cleaners Podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Keith.
And you're like really far over.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
All right.
Keep going.
Okay. Anyway, this is our Raw recap from August 21st.
Yes. So, this is a weird show. It was really good and really crappy at the same time.
Stupid New York crowds.
Yeah, and
Damn.
we're from New York.
Damn
so,
New Yorkers.
You know, I'm very glad I did not go to
I would have been
these
annoyed
events.
too.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. It kind of ruins the whole thing.
And
Especially if you're there trying to enjoy the show. It's a lot easier to deal with at home because you don't actually have to worry about not being able to hear what's going on.
Right. But, I mean, when you can visually see that the wrestlers are getting annoyed, it really takes away from the product.
Cesaro murdered a beach ball the other night.
Thank God.
That was pretty funny, though.
It was.
But yeah, let's get started after complaining about the crowd.
Yeah.
So the show opened with Lesnar and Heyman coming out saying, "I told you so."
Yep.
Basically.
Mm-hmm. It's going to end either one way or the other.
It's true. But Heyman says that from now on, if there's going to be any beatings doled out, it's going to be by the hands of Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. And then they kind of paused for a second. And then all of a sudden, Braun!
Yeah, Braun came out because apparently he had some unfinished business from last night, despite the fact that he almost murdered Brock.
You know, the only thing I didn't like about this segment
What?
is that Braun Strowman didn't get a microphone to say something classic.
What?
I'm not finished with you yet.
Well, I guess, but at the same time, it kind of makes sense for him to not have to say anything at all.
Oh, no. The way they did it was fine. It's
Yeah,
just that I wanted it for my personal enjoyment.
Well, because
So wrestling's about. It's about your own personal enjoyment.
he's-
Nobody else's opinion matters.
he's been known to deliver nice one-liners, like "You belong in the trash" to Kalisto.
Good old Kalisto.
Anyway, so he comes in, they stare each other down. Braun attacks Lesnar. He tries to fight back, surprisingly unsuccessfully.
Yeah.
And he hits him with 2 running power slams and grabs the title and walks around. So,
Yeah, Lesnar did a good job of selling, which he normally does. After like the first running power slam, he looked like he couldn't get up to his feet. But Braun definitely put a lot of torque on those because he went farther forward than he normally does.
Well,
or it could have been because Lesnar's a heavier.
I was going to say
person.
Lesnar's probably harder to lift than Reigns is.
Yeah.
Because Reigns is probably taller and thinner. He might weigh more, but his proportions are probably
that's
easier to deal with.
Very true.
But it's a little surprising seeing Lesnar getting the crap beat out of him with such ease.
Yeah. But is it more surprising that we got this match on a No Mercy card?
Well, he's not going to lose the title, but
No, but I mean,
it's fine.
Oh,
It's a singles match. You know what I mean?
but I feel like they would have built up to this a little longer. But I'm glad that Lesnar's on one of the B pay-per-views,
Pay-per-views,
so I can't complain.
Well, in all fairness, he's been on a few. When you think about it, he was on Fastlane,
Right.
which was technically the first Raw pay-per-view of the year.
Mm-hmm.
He was on Great Balls of Fire, and he's going to be on No Mercy.
Okay, yeah, fair
and
enough.
that's like half,
Yeah, that's
if not
true.
more.
And he's made more appearances than
On
he
Raw,
has.
yeah.
All right, fair enough.
So actually, more so than normal, he's been around.
Well,
So,
maybe they were getting some backlash from it.
I don't think Vince or them really care what the fans think about how often Lesnar's on TV.
No,
You would think that Vince would care more about having the guy he's paying a ton of money to actually being on TV.
Yeah, but I'm sure that was all the negotiations of the contract.
Yeah.
He's only working a certain number of dates and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I know that it's, but I think he was more. Vince was more, I guess, insistent on him being there more. I mean, than Lesnar would want to.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yep. So up next, we had the highly anticipated Brooklyn Street Fight with Enzo versus Cass.
Yeah.
Now
Enzo called out Cass before, like earlier in the afternoon or something
is
like
that
that.
when it got announced? I don't know.
There was a video of it on the WWE YouTube page.
I'm just disappointed they didn't let him fight in a street in Brooklyn and left him there.
Yeah, they can't do that. It's against their their wellness policy. You're not allowed to abandon them in the middle.
No? Is
Is
that really something?
Yeah, of course.
Could have had, a Roddy Piper Goldust backlot brawl. That would have been fine.
Man.
I guess we need new OJ footage for that.
It's true.
So, yeah, this match was what it was.
Well, it wasn't really a complete match anyway.
No. Yeah, so apparently Cass suffered an injury when I guess he was running at Enzo, and Enzo pulled down the top rope, and he went over the rope, right, and landed bad.
Yeah, and he landed bad on his knee, and
Yeah.
I guess he blew it out. And because there's a lot of times where wrestlers can continue matches with an injury, but this was if you can't walk, especially a guy his size really can't do a whole lot.
He started going for I think it was the Empire Elbow, right, and then just couldn't even walk.
Yeah,
and was down.
So the ref called for the bell, and Enzo ended up winning because Cass couldn't compete, despite the fact that Enzo didn't really do anything.
No, he got his ass kicked the entire match, basically. The referee did throw up the X, so there's a 99% chance that it was a real injury.
Oh, well, I don't see...
And the fact that he was cursing after he got hurt.
Well, no, he was probably pissed.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly, because it happened. But, I mean, if...
I would imagine that this wouldn't be a spot for a work injury. There's no reason for it.
No, but that is the only way that Enzo is going to get a win over Cass.
Yeah, but I don't think they care.
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I don't think there's a reason to give Enzo a win.
To be fair, there was no reason for this match.
Well, that is also true. But this was probably like an attempt at a blow-off, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of failed.
Yeah.
Because of the injury.
Well, hopefully it's not as serious as it looks.
No matter what, it's kind of good news for the fact that it's a automatic fast forward of whatever they were going to do next with Enzo, because they can't feud now if Cass isn't going to be around.
Mm-hmm. Sure, left him in the Shark Tank.
So we'll figure out what the hell's going on with him, and who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So up next, we had a backstage segment with Emma and Dana Brooke. Emma was complaining to Dana about Sasha Banks this and Sasha Banks that, and Dana was like, "You still tapped out to her."
It's true.
And then she says that she's challenged Nia tonight, and then she goes and runs down Nia. And as she's doing this, Nia keeps inching closer to her. And Emma turns around and realizes that she's there, and she's like, "How long have you been standing there?" I think she said, "Long enough." And yeah, that was it. So
Emma has to be a bully.
Mm-hmm. And up next, we had that match.
Yeah, which is weird. Usually they'll put a gap in between. Right. But I guess since she said she challenged her already, usually that's like
right. No, okay. Yeah,
when they make the
sense.
Challenges when there's time, but if it's already established, then it makes sense.
Yeah. This was a very short match.
Yeah.
Probably sub 2 minutes, I would assume.
Well, it's funny because a couple weeks ago I was expecting Emma to be the next challenger for the women's title, and now this is 2 weeks in a row where they dropped her out.
I don't know if this is a part of her whole give Emma a chance.
I guess
gimmick
it's to
or
really run her down to build her up, maybe.
I guess.
But how far down do you need to get when you weren't on TV at all?
Look,
and then got strapped with that stupid Emelina thing that they kind of backed
that didn't
out
work.
On. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a great question. But yeah, Nia Jax wins with a Samoan drop.
Samoan job.
Yeah.
That sounds wildly inappropriate.
There's plenty of Samoans in the WWE, so I'm sure one of them know what that is.
Yeah. Well,
I don't, though.
We'll find out.
Yes.
Okay, moving on.
Mm-hmm.
So we had Elias come out to the ring.
Best wrestler on the roster.
He wanted to sing a song about New York, but then he changed his mind and decided that since
like, you people live here don't even like this place or something like that.
Yeah. So then he decides to sing about R-Truth, and he starts singing R-Truth's theme song.
It was amazing.
He's like, I'm just kidding. And then he starts singing his song. And R-Truth interrupts him in the middle of the song, as per usual, pretty much.
Yep. That's what the face does.
But yeah, and this was another short, inconsequential match.
Mm-hmm.
After a little bit of offense by R-Truth, Elias takes over, hits him with the drift away, and that was the end of the match.
It's a cool finisher.
Yeah, it's either exactly like Crossroads or it's similar to Crossroads.
Yeah.
So, which is Cody Rhodes' finisher. But
who's that? I just know a guy named by the name Cody.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
when he comes back 10 years from now,
it's true.
I know this is obviously completely irrelevant, but how much you want to bet that eventually he does come back in the kind of like a Rock kind of deal,
It's possible.
like a big nostalgia thing.
It could be, but I mean, they're making such a big name for themselves right now.
No, but I understand that, but
Yeah.
it's kind of like The Rock with movies,
Yeah.
where they
I don't know.
where they left, made
Yeah.
a big name for themselves, and then came back like a superstar without really doing anything. Because The Rock, while he was obviously a big name at the time, he was never really known for his great wrestling ability.
He wrestled for what, 4 years?
Yeah, he was not around for a
Yeah.
long time. So I wouldn't be surprised
I
if
guess that's fair.
in a few years, or probably longer than that, but like stuff like that starts
Yeah.
happening where you're getting like people who left and made big names for themselves and come back like to a big deal.
Yeah.
It's kind of what happened with McIntyre.
Right. Yeah, that's true. The journeyman.
They made a huge deal about him after him getting released.
Yeah, and he had a very lackluster.
Yeah, he had
time
a
there,
terrible
just the
WWE
He was
career.
an IC champion.
He was IC
right?
champion once, I think,
Yeah,
and they had
'cause-
nothing to do with him after that.
Yeah.
So,
But-
but I feel like
that's
that
fair.
something like that could happen.
Yeah.
Maybe not with him, but just like something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
anyway,
So up next, Kurt Angle had a big announcement for everybody.
yeah, I guess he like said something before the show that there was a big announcement.
Yeah, probably.
A few weeks ago, it was rumored that John Cena was the big announcement that he was going to be on Raw. Well, he was already the free agent, so
Right.
But yeah, there was rumors that Cena was going to show up on Raw right after SummerSlam.
And after, I don't know, it was weird, like the ending of SummerSlam when he went and was hugging people in the crowd and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It was a little strange. But
Well,
whatever.
yeah, but it
It seemed like more of a send-off rather than this to happen.
yeah.
That's all.
I think that was irrelevant. That was
Yeah.
probably just family
Mm-hmm.
that like live in New York, and he hadn't seen them in a while or something like that.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Who knows?
So yeah, Cena comes out. The crowd, does their split thing for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And then he calls out Roman without actually calling him out.
He says there's a particular superstar that I'm interested in speaking to.
Yes. And then Roman comes out. And basically Cena said he didn't come out here to talk, but to
fight. And then he takes his shirt off.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he was trying to trick Roman to doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Get that vest off, boy.
Yeah.
Is this the part where the crowd started chanting "You both suck"? Or
Yes, it was during
Yeah.
this little thing.
Which it was always something I wanted to know. I was very curious to see what the crowd would chant
If they were both there.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was a fair guess that they
Yeah.
would say that.
Oh yeah. But I
Um,
didn't know if it was Roman sucks, Cena sucks. But
Nah.
"You both suck" works just
Yeah.
as well.
So, but yeah, the crowd was very vocal about their, I guess, an interest in seeing these two, I guess,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Then the Miz comes out,
Yeah.
and this was a good segment though.
Well, no, it was good.
Yeah.
The Miz is at his best when he's at his whiniest.
It's true.
Because he's saying that I'm sick of seeing you two have moments,
Yep.
and when's
When's
my
it
moment?
At this point, though, the commentary team said that he did main event. Didn't he main event
Yeah, he
WrestleMania
main
wrestling
event-
Cena, right?
yeah. And he defended the title.
Yeah.
Granted, it wasn't on his own merits, but he
Yeah.
did do it.
Right. So then Cena was like, all right, you'll get your moment tonight. It'll be you and whoever you choose from the Miztourage, your tag partner, versus me and my new tag team partner,
Yeah.
Roman Reigns.
Roman didn't seem very happy about that.
No.
And then at this point, Samoa Joe,
Mm-hmm.
his music hits, and he comes down and says that whether
If
you
any-
like it
yeah.
or not, I'm your partner.
Yeah. If anybody's going to be your partner, it's going to be me.
Yeah. And at that point, Joe starts saying that I own you to Roman Reigns. Then he turns to Cena and just attacks him.
Oh, that was good.
And then while Joe's beating up Cena in the corner, Roman disposes of all three members of the Miztourage, and then Cena magically picks up Joe, hits him with an AA, and then the two of them stand tall at the end of the segment.
Yeah.
Which was a little weird.
But I mean, I'm pretty excited for John Cena and Samoa Joe when we get it.
I was gonna say I don't think that's what's happening next, though.
I think that's what they're gonna do, and then they're gonna build up to John Cena and Reigns.
You think? Oh, okay. I figured that Reigns just after. Well, I'm
what
honestly
transpired in the main event, or
well, yeah, because obviously what happened later on, but see, I figured that was building to this dissension between the two of them. Obviously, they started as.
What if we got them as a tag team together,
and they face Seth and Dean?
Yep.
No,
the place would explode.
It's not going to happen.
Vince would just everywhere.
Well, no. Well, yeah, he would be excited. But
this is his ultimate wet dream: John Cena and Roman Reigns together in a tag team.
Well, no, because at the same time, he's taking what he sees as his big money makers and putting them in one match.
I know.
So I don't think he would do that.
I don't know.
Well, obviously they would never do that because that's just stupid. But
it would be funny.
It would be, and that I could see that as like a house show joke match.
Yeah, I guess.
But there was no way that would be like an actual match.
Nah, fair enough.
And that would be like a house show that had Lesnar on it, because there's no way they would take the 4 guys that would normally main event a house show, put them in a tag team match. You could still put it in the main event.
Have Elias and R-Truth main event that.
Dumbass.
Get so mad.
Yeah.
This got me mad. All right, so up next we had an 8-man cruiserweight match,
which was really the main cruiserweight segment of the show.
Yeah. I don't even remember the teams. It
was
Gulak,
Nice, Daivari,
and Noam Dar.
Yeah, Dar against Cedric Alexander,
Rich Swann, Ali,
Mustafa Ali, and Grand Metalik.
It was yes.
And I feel like he might be getting pushed soon.
He's been so good that last week on 205, but they've been so underutilized too.
But they talked about him a lot during this match. And that's the reason why I think that.
Yeah, and last week we talked about that tag match that was really good with Grand Metalik and Cedric.
Yeah.
Well, on main event last week it was Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado versus Gulak and Daivari.
You know, that match was almost exactly the main event match that they had when we went to.
Oh yeah, that's right. Except it was Nice. But so what really annoyed me is, of course, they always put on a good match, the cruiserweights, but the crowd was completely out of it. There was boring chants. There was CM Punk chants.
This is why the New York crowd is terrible.
Yeah, and so Cedric Alexander got the win over Tony Nese with a lumbar check.
Oh, man, he went flying.
Tony Nese jumped up to, like, above the middle rope.
Yeah, he was certainly airborne for a while.
Oh, and he apparently has a 12-pack, according to Michael Cole. Yeah. And he kept referring to it as a 12-pack until Corey said, Cole, he has an 8-pack. And
Cole's a moron.
Oh, you did miss something in the beginning.
What?
So, I guess Booker T was saying something, and Michael Cole goes, Booker, the microphone has to be in front of your face or in front of your mouth for us to hear you.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I would assume that wouldn't be put on any kind of recap.
No.
That's actually pretty great, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it was a good match. Moving on to the only other cruiserweight segment of the night. Charlie was interviewing Neville about if he's surprised that he was able to recapture the title, and he's like, "Why would he be surprised?"
Yeah, well, he's like, "Well, after last week when Tozawa beat you, and then."
But yeah, then Titus and Tozawa appear, and then they talk about his rematch.
He said, "I got one word for you: rematch."
Yeah.
Bye. That's their thing.
Yeah. So 205 Live after SmackDown is going to be when their rematch is
tonight. Yeah. Next we have a backstage segment with Kurt Angle and his son Jason Jordan.
They start a lot of segments where Kurt Angle's just sitting there playing on his phone. Just putting it out there.
Sending pictures to Corey.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jason Jordan comes in. He's like, I don't want any special treatment, but can I request a match tonight? And he's like, well, the Miz is all booked up. He's like, no, I'll take care of the Miz at a later date. He's like, I want Finn Balor. It's like, okay,
that was surprising.
Yeah,
like why?
Oh, I think they're gonna go with what we had talked about. He just constantly loses as a face and gets no reaction. Then turns into a heel.
I guess. I don't know.
I think that's the best way to handle this situation. But who knows?
Or he'll just disappear, like I had said. Yeah. So I was thinking, it doesn't really matter when I bring it up, but I was thinking, because I don't like the idea of having Jordan face The Miz. Yeah. Because I think The Miz really needs to lose the Intercontinental title. Because it doesn't add anything to him now. No. Because he's the Miz Taraj now. It has nothing to do with the IC title. The fact he has it is just a pure coincidence. Yeah. So if you take it off of him, put on Balor for a really, really long time. Because
they're not doing anything with Balor.
He is the besides AJ, he's the international guy. Yeah. Him, AJ, and Shinsuke. But Shinsuke is doing something else.
Exactly. You have top talent manning the mid-card on SmackDown. There's no reason you can't do it on Raw.
Give the IC title to Finn. Make it the Intercontinental thing part of it, and just have him destroy all of the mid-card heels and whatever for a year. And that way you can do whatever storylines you want to do. Keep Finn fresh. And then have him drop it to some up-and-comer guy.
Someone from NXT, maybe.
Yeah, like Eric Young. Yeah. If he comes up to the main roster. Just have him drop it to Eric Young. And then that's when Finn can go after the Universal title. Yeah. Because this way you're using the IC belt properly.
Let's be 100% honest with ourselves. As long as Lesnar is in the mix, Finn will not be near the Universal title.
Well, you don't think that they're gonna let Finn go over on Lesnar? No. I guess that's fair.
No. Because now it's all big guys.
Yeah, it's true. So I don't know.
I've seen the horses.
Because I think Balor could realistically take down Reigns and Joe.
He's beaten Reigns.
No, I'm just saying in a
singles match, it's believable.
The way that they're booking things now, not necessarily things that have happened, because just like you said, they're all about big guys right now. The perception at the time trumps things that have happened in the past.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So there's been points in time where you could think one thing would never happen, and then 2 years later, thing happened.
Right, yeah.
So right now, it's just that's what they're doing, the Battle of the Beasts. Yeah. And that's probably what they're going to call the tagline for No Mercy.
That's a good possibility.
So, but yeah, like I said, once Lesnar finally does drop the title, then, like you said, Finn has
they never did anything with Finn and The Miz. They teased it. When was that?
That was because...
Is that Payback?
Yeah, I was going to say that was right before it because Bray was still dealing with Orton. Yeah. And then we thought that was going to be like an interim thing. But like I said, I think that
that would work. Yeah, I think that's good.
I think that would be the best thing because The Miz doesn't need it. Yeah. Balor is doing nothing, and the IC title really needs
to be defended and on TV.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it doesn't need to be, but it'd be nice if it was. Yeah. So I think that would be the best way to do
No, that's definitely a good idea. Speaking of things we would never see, up next we had Dean and Seth come out. They welcome all challengers.
Well, they're toting their brand new Raw Tag Team Championships.
And then the Hardys come out. So this is something that you wouldn't have thought we would have seen.
I wasn't expecting it to be the Hardys, but at the same time, who the hell was it going to be?
No, yeah. No, I didn't mean now, but I mean, say years ago when they were
yeah. Well, my point was I wasn't expecting the Hardys part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I guess
because two face teams.
I think they were making up for some of the SummerSlam matches last night.
It's possible they did the same thing with Battleground. Yeah, and Money in the Bank women's match.
That's true. But yeah, Dean and Seth basically said we idolized you guys growing up, and then they had the match.
Well, the crazy part, Dean and Seth aren't that much younger. There's about 10 years, but that's not that long.
No.
So
but you got to think.
The Hardys,
years ago,
in the 90s, there wasn't that many options to develop yourself.
Right.
Whereas
Matt and Jeff were on Raw in like 95.
Well, that's what I mean, though. Yeah. Because they didn't have
95
options.
Was 20 years ago. You got to think that they were Dean and Seth were probably 6, 7 years, or 7, 8 years old, right? What are they?
Well,
late,
20. No,
late
they're
20s,
both.
or
They're both in their
30s?
early 30s.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
So, I think Seth is 32, and I think maybe Dean's 30. So, but I'm just saying it's funny because it's not Hogan Rock.
Yeah,
it's
no, I got it.
So,
I got you.
But
yeah. So up next we had the Dean and Seth versus the Hardys. This was a good match. This was a lot of fun.
But yeah, there's a lot of tandem offense on the part of Dean and Seth.
Yes, working together as a cohesive unit.
Yeah, they did the sling blade / spine buster combo, some tandem suicide dives, and then of course their finisher with the high knee to Dirty Deeds.
Yeah,
and that's how they won.
Yep.
So there was actually a point where Matt had hit a twist of fate on Dean.
Oh yeah, and Dean put his knees up for the Swanton bomb. Yeah.
And that's where the match turned around.
Yeah, that looked nasty on Jeff's back.
Well, yeah, anytime that you land like from that height, onto anything.
Well, his back is so vulnerable at that position.
Exactly, he can't protect himself or anything.
Not at all.
So, but yeah, that happened, and then that's when they ended up finishing him off.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Yep.
But it was a fun match.
Next, we got the announcement of Braun and Joe at No Mercy.
Yes, which was, like you said, a little surprising.
Yeah,
but
we talked about it. So, up next, we had a backstage segment with The Miz, Taraj, and Samoa Joe. Yeah. Basically, The Miz was kind of giving everybody orders, right, on what they were supposed to do during the match.
Yeah.
And then Joe kind of got fed up with The Miz talking and goes, "All right, you two, go out, be outside the ring and cause a distraction. Do whatever you do." And then he goes to The Miz and he's like, "You be the cowardly person that you are," or whatever he said.
Yeah, he said, "Keep running your mouth." And that was it.
Yep. And then they were like, "Oh, okay, yes, sir, yes, sir."
Yeah. That was pretty funny.
Yep. It was good.
Yeah. So after that, Sasha Banks comes out to, celebrate her victory the night before.
Yes.
So she says that she's the boss and she's going to defend her championship the way it's supposed to be defended.
Not cowardly.
Yeah, well, because like we had said, that it seemed like this was probably Alexa's best match in terms of a defense on Raw since she came over. So, but yeah, at this point, Alexa comes out. And she says that Sasha actually never successfully defended her title. When
every time you won it, you lost it, right? Yeah.
See, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, that's actually, I think it's true.
Yeah, because Sasha would
win it on Raw
and then lose it at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, the next pay-per-view. So that's crazy that it was just the way it happened, and she was able to bring it up or whatever.
Yeah. So then Sasha said, "All right, I'll give you a rematch right now." And then Alexa was like, "In front of this crowd? Nah."
Yeah, she knows better. But yeah, she said she's gonna get her rematch next week.
Yep.
And then she'll turn Sasha from the legit boss to the legit loser. So yeah, that's happening next week.
Which we saw, I believe, not really a trailer, but the
I guess the
promo package for No Mercy with Alexa Bliss.
A commercial. That was really cool.
It was.
But yeah, you would think that she would go into the No Mercy as the champion if they did that.
Yeah.
But
that was your thought too.
Yeah, I guess it could have just been a swerve kind of deal as well. Or she'll win the title back next week, and then they'll play that again.
Yep.
Who knows?
Right. So up next we had the Jason Jordan versus Finn Balor match, which Jason Jordan came out to no reaction again.
Yep. It was the opposite entrances, kind of, where you had one that was a complete dud, and then you had Balor's, whose entrance is like captivating to everybody in the arena.
Everybody loves him.
So yeah.
Yeah. So this was another match
that was ruined by the crowd.
Yeah, this was a good match. A lot of changes in offense, I guess. One would gain the upper hand, and then the other one would gain the upper hand.
Yeah, Jason Jordan, he's
a good wrestler.
Yeah, he's a good wrestler.
There's
it's just
no
his
doubt
character's boring.
Well, I mean, I think it's more or less what he's been given.
Well, he's not being booked properly, but
the charisma isn't there either.
Yeah, so.
Did you watch
not yet,
Southpaw?
No.
You know, we'll do that afterward, all right?
Okay.
All right.
But yeah, it was a good match. It was very an exciting match in terms of like wrestling, not necessarily storytelling or anything because there's nothing to it.
I didn't have the doubt in my mind that Finn wasn't going to win the match.
Oh, absolutely.
But Jason pushed the envelope. Where
It
happened.
Yeah, he showed promising offense and stuff like that, but inevitably Finn did win with the coup de grace, but that's not a surprise.
Yeah, so again, this was the first time they had the beach ball going this night, last night, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
and then
Finn looked visibly annoyed.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because they were supposed to be paying attention to the people in the ring. Mm-hmm. That's what they pay to get their tickets for.
Yes.
So it's certainly understandable that the wrestlers get annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the commentators were like trying to play it off like the fans were really into it and having
like
fun.
The night after WrestleMania. I think they said that during the main event. But.
Yeah, they at some point they said it. But yeah, it's just aggravating when they pull this stupid crap.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's move on to the main event.
Yes.
The Miz and Samoa Joe versus John Cena and Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm. This was bad.
Mm-hmm. They just the entire time they were just chanting stupid crap.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
But the match itself was good.
Yeah.
They added some storytelling in the whole Roman Reigns, John Cena thing.
Yeah, well, this is why I figured that it'd be Roman and Cena next, not necessarily Cena and Joe. I think Joe
that's more of a B story, you know? I mean, this could be Cena and Reigns could be an A storyline thing. And with Braun and Lesnar, I think you want to keep the A storyline going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, my point is that I don't think Joe was in there because he's going to be one of their opponents. I think he was in there as a teammate or
an ally.
Well, a legitimate teammate for the Miz.
Yeah.
Because if you put the Miz and Bo Dallas against John Cena and Roman Reigns.
Yeah, no, I get it. It adds some legitimacy to their team.
Yeah, even in victory, it's not going to do much for Cena or Reigns. So putting Joe in there just because Joe didn't have anything to do, and
it was good writing.
Yeah. So it was actually an example of them throwing things together that at least kind of made sense.
It was funny during the match when Joe had the upper hand. I think it might have been when he put Cena in the Coquina clutch, and Michael Cole was saying, "Well, both of you have been in the ring or with Joe in the ring together."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, I'm sure Corey Graves might have been with him in NXT, but I don't think so." But I was like, Booker T was definitely in the ring with him in TNA.
Yeah, he was. I don't think Corey Graves was ever with Samoa Joe. No. I think he retired before Joe came.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I don't know.
Unless Corey Graves wrestled in TNA.
No, I don't think so.
Or Ring of Honor.
I don't think so.
I'm just saying that would be the only possibility.
Yeah, I don't believe so, though. Or they were in develop. I don't know how long Corey was in developmental before NXT started.
He was a commentator when Joe came.
Right. No, yeah. But I mean, but Joe was in developmental before, years back.
Yeah, but I don't think that Graves, I don't even know if he was in FCW.
Yeah.
So I don't think their paths would have
crossed. It could just be Michael Cole being dumb.
That's most likely the case because NXT, Corey Graves was in NXT.
Yeah.
So that means that if you were in NXT once, you had to be the whole time and you wrestled everybody.
Very good.
Anyway, so yeah, they did make mention of Booker T's time in TNA technically.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, Booker decided to point out the fact that he wrestled Samoa Joe in Houston.
Oh, he said,
I don't know why. It certainly wasn't important. So, but whatever.
Most things that he says aren't important.
But yeah,
Renzo Tonga coming back.
I know, right? Honestly, at this point, it kind of feels
at least he shuts up. You know, he doesn't say much.
Yeah, but what Booker T adds is almost better if he doesn't add anything.
It's true.
But
addition by subtraction.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Joe had Cena in the Coquina clutch. And Reigns went to break it up, and Joe kind of moved out of the way.
Yeah, he went to go hit Joe with a Superman punch, and Joe kind of moved Cena in his way and ended up nailing John Cena in the face. So I guess Cena went out of the ring, and the Miz was down at this point. Yeah. And Joe went out with Cena, I think. Or no, Joe went to do a suicide dive through the ropes, and Cena ended up hitting him. So he was on the apron with Cena, and then I don't remember what happened.
You just watched it.
I don't pay attention just because I watched it.
But yeah, anyway, the Miz goes for the skull crushing finale, but on Cena, who I guess made his way back into the ring.
Yeah, they started getting back into it, and that's when Cena made the tag.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah, because Roman was crawling towards. He made the hot tag, and that's
because the Miz was pulling on Roman's leg, and Roman was just going.
Yeah,
like
he didn't
even
phase him.
Yeah,
he makes the pin, not the pin. He makes the tag. Cena comes in, hits an AA on the Miz, and ends up pinning him for the 3 count.
And yeah,
that was it.
That was it. So, well, hopefully SmackDown doesn't have to deal with the same fate that Raw did.
There's a 0% chance of that being the case.
But I hear rumors of the possibility of Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Roode showing up tonight.
Yeah, supposedly Bobby Roode was backstage last night.
The only NXT star backstage.
Yeah, but who knows?
We shall see.
It could just be him hanging around, trying to get the feel, and him coming up later on. We'll see.
So, this was our Raw review.
If you liked what you see here, please like, share, and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.